You do not want that Vexana pick on him, but here we go to the Land of Dawn for game number 1 in this Grand Finals Best of 7 of MPLID Season 15.
Whoa. Welcome. Right off the bat. Early win for the Vexana. I haven't seen the Vexana in quite a while. Just because, you know, obviously there usually are better picks in the first phase, but it's also strange to think that finally now we're seeing ONIC utilize more of the last pick Lancelots, the last pick junglers. We've really just been seeing, especially when the Hayabusa is open. Kyrie pick it up. Edoc already stopping Kyrie. Oh, Spear of Misery. Kaikon in the bad spot, has the retreat, secures it.
The pressure early on by RRQ, that was actually a coincidence as well. Toy was in the neighborhood where Kyrie was taken down to an instant, and now this Baxia pick. At first I thought it was going to go to Tutsujin, but then flex onto Edoc. As Keyboy wants to look to advance towards Tutsujin, but no, Tutsujin will just pull away. But the question is, will this Vexana pick be enough to stop the advances of the Joy and the Baxia?
So far it has looked quite enough. Look at that damage. Trading in the mid lane has never been so easy for Sans. Cursed Blast landing on Rins, and Sans' spacing has been phenomenal this game. I don't think he's gotten hit by a single dispersion, rotate, no yin-yang reactions. He just walked away from it pixel perfect.
At least he's able to survive the early game and the early burst coming in from the Lo Yi. Not yet level 4, so no Eternal Guard that might help him in the engages. Tyron is here, Sutsujin comes in as well.
Good terrify, Sutsujin coming in. Electrifying beats already popped by Sutsujin. Keyboy taken off the wall by Edoc.
This turtle fight will be very, very important. Sans, flickerless, no flicker. That is information and a very, very expensive battle spell. Kyrie, close by as well. Look, base, split.
Puncture in, Tyron still in the front, penalty zone coming in with a puncture as well. Look, people the flicker forward, able to get Rins.
Castle.
Now Keyboy looking for the Tsunami Slam, won't be able to find it, but Rins is the one who secures it in the back line. Kyrie has the puncture defensively as the rest of the team looks to back away. Edoc, Poisons, Keyboy, flickering back, a win for the Kings.
Oh, that is RRQ getting the turtle as well. They were unable to kill Kyrie in the very first altercation, but at least Tyron is spacing him out, and Kyrie is not given the space to play as the Lancelot. I mean, sure, you would argue that Lancelot is a mobile assassin, so much escape mechanism, so much potential of possibly contesting that objective, that neutral objective, steal it or just take it straight away. But as of now, RRQ, they have one mission in hand, and that is to screen Kyrie out of that possibility. But as on predictions by the new application, go pay. You know, it's a split of both.
Yeah. This is a fair split. Oh, it's actually in favor of ONIC. We got 4-2 only. Arashi and Coleus have gone for RRQ. I wonder what the Indo desk thinks, because we have a different one. Eternal Guard landing. Rins knocked up. Keyboy, they're gonna go for it again. Tsunami Slam with the Purify out by Rins. No fight.
They might turn, but as of now, that's a Purify blown out. So maybe if ONIC, they really want to gesture again against RRQ, that is a possibility. But Sutsujin might look for the engage. Edoc rolling in. Not the best playmaking hero we would see from Edoc. But as of now, he's doing very well screening. Lutpi fighting the damage.
Good damage on Lutpi. Penalty zone by Tyron. Keyboy caught in the crossfires. Purple buff should be taken. Diversion into the top side. Kyrie looking for the play again. Thorn Rose and a puncture defensively as Sutsujin gets even more pressure.
Reset. It's all RRQ with the macro advantage as well, right? With the diversion. So much angles opened. Severo might be hanging meat now for RRQ, but he has that dash to shield him away from the possibilities of a dive. Now let's take a look at ONIC WinCon. I think so far they can rely on Sans early on with the Eternal Guard, but as of now, it's up to Kyrie to finally go onto himself, because his Lancelot has to go online. A couple of kills might do it, but RRQ, they're not giving the space for ONIC to do just that.
They're not even gonna give space to Kai to go for trades. Toy sent to the bottom lane again. RRQ are the ones who are holding the neutral objective. Keyboy, looking at the play, Tsunami Slam, able to find him. No Purify just yet. Now Grant's execution and Thorn Rose. Rins taken down by Sans. Now in the back line, it's gonna be Sutsujin jumping to find beats. Toy landing the SOD. Severo still with the Synchro Vision. Constantly jumping around with the Chrono dashes, forcing the Revitalize. Keyboy getting position. Sutsujin, 2 dashes, no ultimate. ONIC recover, and now will secure a turtle. But look at the trade by Toy.
Yep. Looking for a roll in. Edoc, no slay, rather no steal whatsoever happening. And down bottom, Toy, off screen, able to get a turret for himself. So RRQ, at least, they're able to get a cross-map trade and make things even in the hands of both sides. As of now, though, it's RRQ still with a gold lead, 1.3k, and they will always have that ever-present segue, side lane pressure in the hands of the Moskov, plus the Luo Yi, enabling them to get rotations either to the back or even down bottom to just push out the waves. And as of now for ONIC, their only response to that side lane is this Lancelot.
This is so value for RRQ. Like you mentioned, ONIC can't really deal with the side lane pressure, especially when we get into the late game. So the fact that RRQ are now the ones leading with the Moskov, who should by all means, I think, be bullied a bit more in the early game by ONIC. He's going to scale up to be a monster. Good damage by Rins on Sans. And you can see ONIC already start to rotate up top. Later on, though, ONIC, the way they win is through a big team fight. RRQ can deny those team fights. They have diversions. They have the Moskov, obviously, with the SODs. That global presence is so good for them to capitalize on ONIC's very one-dimensional team fight style.
And ONIC needs to scout those diversion plays as well, right? They need to scout the teleport. So, Kairi, Cornrow's able to dodge that kill shot.
Whoa!
As of now, it's ONIC still holding to their ground. And look at the rotations made from RRQ. Dyron already, preparing himself for fighting, but the audience prediction now, with the new application, Go Pay, 62% favoring RRQ, Hoshi.
It's as usual here, ladies and gentlemen, in Indonesia. Wherever you go, whichever venue, stadium, it's a home ground advantage for RRQ. The Kingdom go wherever the players go. Sometimes even without the players, they still wear that RRQ jersey everywhere.
Everywhere, anywhere. The culture for them. And now it's up to ONIC to get this objective. Kairi, level 10, and possibly having even more than one item. But RRQ, they want to fight this. Savero is nearby. Toy, just went with the SOD, so that is a possibility. But Sutsujin comes close, and they will try to contest this.
Reset. Keyboy with the jump already now. Kairi with the battle execution and a Thorn Rose flipping forward, but the rest of the team will not follow. Rins again, able to escape. Now in the back as well. Kairi able to go for the puncture and Thorn Rose for a bit of hope. Sutsujin! Electrifying Beast, Tsunami Slam, knocking him down, Eternal God with the combo, Savero comes in with the Toy, SOD lands, Sutsujin falling, Toy still up top of the farm, Kai gets another, Dyron, Sutsujin down, Toy up top, Kai jumps in with the puncture, Phantom execution!
He goes in, and that's Keyboy! Finishing off Rins, and Kairi's tail, a cold assassin, but that was Keyboy as his wingman. And up top though, a wave pushing for RRQ. So at least they have that value. But still, ONIC, they swing it to themselves. And that orange buff for Kairi too.
RRQ have to play way slower. Again, they have that global presence. They have someone in the side. They cannot be reeled in to a battle like that. Remember, ONIC, they're the better team fight comp. They have so much CC, overloading even Sutsujin.
But at least with the SOD, right? Even if it hits and it's not favorable for you to take the fight, you can still push up top. You can still make that side push happen. Kairi, assassinated, might be a possibility.
Shield Unity. Oh, Kai again up against 4, no problem. This gets away, makes it look so easy. A trade though, but it's only a tier 1. RRQ definitely getting the value out of that.
Well known to make the escapes, and that is just him not breaking any sweat. At least E-Doc is able to, exert that pressure to keep on pushing. And Sans gets that Blood Wings extra defensive, tool for him with that extra shielding. But Swift Trinity by Toy with the 3 items, he's ready to just join the fights. But again, side lane so far has been his priority. Keyboy, Tsunami Slam!
Tsunami Slam and the lockdown, all in from ONIC!
Gone!
The Mercenary has been dealt with. Savero in the mid lane all alone up against Rins. Now jumps in again. Revive. Tyron goes in. Rins gonna be slammed. Savero all alone. Now the SOD lands again, but it's only gonna be a tier 2 as Keyboy collapses. And ONIC will find him mounted on Phantom Execution. Kai just does not miss on this lance.
The Sky Kings roar in game number 1. That was Savero in the backline looking for Rins. But Kairi and the others followed suit. Tyron, that is not what we expected from him. The penalty zone did not penalize any of the ONIC members, and now they have that Lord for themselves. Up top, it's still pushing for side of RRQ Hoshi, but at least ONIC, they're able to stabilize everything.
That was mad disrespectful. Realize Penalty zoning, Bigatron's trophy cabinet.
Hey!
What?
Don't do him dirty like that.
Anyways, Toy, he looks pretty good now. Despite, again, not being able to win there, he's 0-0-0. He's still farming really well.
Yeah.
And he's getting closer to that item power spike. Now, technically, the 3-item power spike is what you're waiting for. But against a composition like this, I'd say Rose Gold Meteor is probably when you can finally start battling it out. But just as I mentioned, that Severo gets Holy Crystal.
Holy Crystal.
Big, big power spike.
And even BOD for Kyrie, so at least that adds his damage even more. But now the real-time victory rate presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S25 series is 64% for ONIC. Tsunami Slam though.
Again, over to E-Dog this time with Revitalize, still able to survive with the Poison still. Lutpi brought back by the Yin Yang reaction. Lord dealing with the tier 2 in the mid lane. Good wave management by RRQ. They keep their losses at a minimum.
They hold it. At least they're able to stabilize everything again. It's up to RRQ to activate the side lanes. Talking about high ground defense, and just holding their base together as to not be torn apart. I think they have that power in the hands of Toy. Rose Gold purchased as well, so at least extra protection. Oh, diversion flank play only to send Dyren, but E-Dog is here as well, scouting. At least that's one thing that RRQ can nurture, that information from E-Dog constantly rolling towards ONIC, but they need to know that ONIC is ready to bounce back.
Short flicker out from the penalty zone. That's a big resource used already, but they are happy with that. RRQ, remember, even though they used 2 ults there to get into position. Keyboy! Oh, what a read from Keyboy! Eternal Guard from Sans. Sutsujin 3 times read like a book by the boy. Lutpi on Dyren, a flicker back again. Lutpi has the flicker, but he won't utilize it. Cutting the wave up top.
Boy, his spidey senses were tingling and was able to get that Sutsujin lockdown, Tsunami Slam onto the Eternal Guard. And I think that's another synergy we can talk about, Miracle. Tsunami Slam, Eternal Guard. So it's basically you getting knocked up to get knocked up again. That lockdown is still there. But the question is, can ONIC burst down the targets as quick as possible? With the Lancelot, that might be feasible. With Harith as well, that is a possibility. So RRQ now, what do they do? Because the Tsunami Slam is going to be the main engage tool for ONIC. They have to be able to peel themselves back, distance themselves from ONIC. As of now, Sutsujin 1-2-3, Syrin's same stat as well. They're struggling.
They really are. It's going to be tougher as we get towards, I'd say, 15 minutes. Again, we were talking about the late game possibility for RRQ, but now I gotta dial it back a bit. RRQ have just not been able to utilize it as much. I think they're really scared of that AoE CC chain of ONIC. They can bait out Purifies like it's nothing, so Toy has to be extra careful. And that's why they've lost Prio even in the side lanes. High level 15, the Mercenary very close as well. Puncture coming down, now E-Dog gonna be caught, Phantom Execution over to the Lord. Diamond gonna be caught again with the Eternal Guard, and the Tsunami Slam.
Oh!
SOD doesn't land, Sutsujin caught in the bad spot, has the try and beats, and now Severo!
That goes for the assassination. Severo goes for more. The double kill connects. Lutpi in the back, just harnessing the power. Dyren mounted up.
What can he do? Terrified now. The Curse Blast coming down as well. Oh, they're toying with Dyren at this point. 5 members, good penalty zone. But what is it for? It was a desperate attempt to survive.
Reminiscent of Season 12. Dyren with the solo hold, penalty zone 5 men. But this time, it's a different era. ONIC, they might be marching for the base, looking for the siege as well. RRQ, can they hold this? The Lord respawn, pushing forward, and they get that inner inhibitor.
Yikes. We saw that damage, Thorn Rose. That's why it's difficult for Toy. You want to go Rose Gold Meteor to deal with a lot of the damage, magic damage dealers. But then there's Kai on the Lance, a signature big E-Dog. Shield Unity already using the back line. Keyboy! Finding the pick with Eternal Guard, now dive with penalty zone into the back line. Sutsujin looking for the place of Arrow still with the Chrono dashes. Able to kite away. Lord is open already. Lutpi running away. Toy with the chase again. 1 base turret, that's it.
1-for-1 trade. It's Dyren and Keyboy both down. At least RRQ are still able to hold their base. And now it's up to Toy to wave clear all the minions coming in towards their base. But that was actually a well-executed team fight by ONIC. They had their targets in their hands. The Tsunami Slam connected. But RRQ with the splash of damage that was underestimated by ONIC. The burst connected with Sutsujin with the Joy. Rin's contributing as well to that damage. And Toy just doing his own thing with the Moskov, passively poking the players of ONIC with that passive in the Moskov.
Very tough for RRQ at this point. They've lost a base turret in the mid lane. That means full prio for ONIC. They gotta deal with the side lane somehow. They gotta be confident enough that they can beat some of the ONIC members that will be sent down below. But it is tough, again, just because you're kind of forced to go either rose gold or win, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if he sells boots next, he'll get win of nature, but he kind of needs the mobility too. Up against a composition like this. Kai with a Thorn Rose over the Toy. Great punctures in, man. And a Retri. Thorn Rose mounted on Ida, brought back to the team as Samara walks up as well. Revitalized already with the Poissons. But P gets off.
They stabilize. And a concealed play, they might look for another
Oh,
Hail Mary play. Diversion connects, but where is the backup?
What a read from Kila Suns! Now Tsunami slams Savero! Again, now flipping back to Tsujin, pops in electrifying beats. ONIC wanna go for it. Not finding the wall, Keyboy Toy! He's
dead!
waiting the entire game just for ONIC to all in on him. Now it's only the Mercenary left.
The Mercenary. Looking at the broken castle walls, ONIC might punch for the end. The crystal is exposed. It's only up to Sutsujin.
ONIC with a statement game won 17-3, 6.4k gold lead. Gila Sands with a crazy read. We're getting back there. Realize from the ground to the skies where they belong. Slowly but surely, we're not just seeing glimpses of that prime ONIC of season 11, 12, and 13. I think it's about time we see the whole picture.
It might be an upgrade, who knows? But time and time again, ONIC has been able to show that maturity. The read was so perfect, and RQ had, underlined boldly, had to go for that play. They had to look for one small skirmish, one small team fight that they could leverage on the back of a diversion play. That Hail Mary play had to happen if they wanted to go back and chase down ONIC. The advantage, the differences, the discrepancies was way too far for them to really deal with. And going rose gold, ONIC just forcing RQ in an unfavorable position.
There's too much damage.
Look at that greed though.
Yeah. Diversion, Sans catching them with the glowing wand, Curse Blast. It wasn't timed, like, he got the Curse Blast, but they, I don't know, I want to look at the interaction again, because they didn't get caught by the damage per se, but the glowing wand was on them, giving Keyboy, I think, vision for it. Sans is ridiculous, man. I don't know what Yeb does to him every single time he's in the roster, but the monster's back, like, he lied in him. I can see it in his eyes.
Crazy. It's Sans. And now, it's up to Heskute and Co. to go back to the drawing board again, re-strategize. As ONIC again pulling masterclass after masterclasses. And now it's up to our panel to break it down. What has happened in that game?
Thank you so much, Miracle. Thank you so much, Realize, for casting game number 1 at what looks like a very dominantly ONIC game. 16 minutes and 42 seconds. Let's break this down just a little bit more, right? Because for the entirety of the playoffs, we've been talking about utility mid laners, how it's not really a thing, but the Vexana seems like it really works well with ONIC's playstyle.
Yeah, because I think with Vexana, they can stop Boxia or even like Rinse when he do the diversion. But for this particular game, I think RQ got the early game. They got the 2k gold leads, but the problem is like the decision from Sutsujin. Yeah, several times Sutsujin brings a lot of bad things for his teams. Like it brings the winning momentum
like
for
this
ONIC.
Moment?
Yeah, like when he opened the when he wants to go for the portable buff, or when he tried to chase the who's it? Lutpi
on
the mid lane.
On the glue, yeah. I do think so, man. It feels like they were just not really respecting the chance for ONIC to punish. And knowing ONIC, this is a team that won't let anything slide. So off positioning, clearing without checking, you fall victim to the player of the game here.
Yeah, and in that final moment, we saw that the diversion play, the Hail Mary diversion play coming from RQ, really did not work out for them because of this man that you see up on screen. Player of the game presented by the official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Gonnie, talk us through it.
You know what, I think Keyboy again displaying very, very great awareness, excellent positioning as well. right? He knows where to just stay in that, what bush to stay. And it shows that the angles that RRQ is trying to penetrate from, covered by this man.
Yeah.
The concealed plays multiple times, just denying the openings that RRQ wanted. And that was the questionable play from Dyron there. Again, capitalized fully by ONIC members.
I think I can make a statement here. If Keyboy on his prime performance, he's the best roamer. If you are talking about the momentum roamer, like Aliyah, Tigreal, and everything in the world.
Ooh.
In the world.
I mean, there's a reason why Mirko's, most of the more common yell out for Mirko is Keyboy!
Yeah.
Because he just makes the moments happen. And he's really good at just reading into the intentions. Because the final diversion play, I think, had potential. They were aiming to try and find a moment of weakness from ONIC near their purple buff, but Keyboy read through it. He wasn't really in the same bush, but he was nearby. And immediately seeing how it is unfolding, he made that split-second call to just go in, make the play happen, and even with the Purifies on the hands of the RRQ backline, he was just so active and so frequent with the Tsunami Slam attempts that it made it seem like the Purify is almost never up, never available.
See, those moments would never have happened if not the follow-up coming through, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
for the first few moments that he gets the slam coming through from the Kalea, the follow-up from Kyrie is instant. In that moment with the diversion, the follow-up coming from Savero was so instant. So it seems like the Sky Kings are always on the same page, which is quite scary because we can't really say the same for RRQ in that game.
They're united. ONIC's united, and I think it's official in the playoff run. ONIC has always drew first blood in their series. So yeah, it's not new, but let's see if RRQ can come back from this. Because 16 minutes, it wasn't fast, but it's a convincing win still overall from ONIC.
That's why for RRQ, I think they need to discuss about the risk management. Because a lot of things that what RRQ do since yesterday or even the first day, the risk calculation is not too mature.
Yeah.
A bit premature, a bit hasty almost.
Yeah.
It really feels like that. They were trying to play more for Toy here. You saw that even though Suzujin was falling victim to a lot of the plays, Toy was still farming up a storm, was actually #1 in the gold standings all the way until the mid-game still. But unfortunately afterwards, right, with the presence of the glue of the Lancelot as well as having a Harith on Savero, there's so many ways for ONIC to dive in and make sure that Moskov has no safety zone to actually stand there and do that damage. So even if he has full items, it just wasn't safe enough, especially with their front lines all being kind of divey front lines. No one there is actually catered to try and protect Toy from the dive coming in from ONIC. And even on the other hand, if RRQ wants to use their game plan and dive with the Baxia, Terizla, and Joy, this is where the Vexana comes in. Just like that, one Terrify becomes a 3-man Terrify, becomes a
Eternal's Guard.
Eternal Guard, and that's the end of it, right? With the AoE coming in, the Golden also does AoE damage for ONIC. So that makes RRQ's hands really tied. So unless they really find some really value diversion plays, they weren't really able to win any fight outright unless they do something special. And unfortunately, ONIC, they know how to play that low Yi as well. They read through most of the diversions, and just like that, slowly but surely RRQ get grinded down.
So what needs to be changed here?
The
So
game
they built
plan
up
itself.
So the game plan from the drafts, were the drafts okay to you
I think
guys?
the draft, if it's working, it's okay. But RRQ is, for example, here, Sans can change his gameplay. Usually he's shining using the mid lane as a mid laner.
Yeah.
But right now he's using the utility mid lane like Vexana. He's playing like a shadow. He didn't want like the opponent to see Sans, but when the times come, Sans will be there.
Right.
Okay.
Not to mention having the Vexana, we can say it's a utility mid laner, but it still does a ton of damage, man. So it's almost like, even though Mirko was saying utility sucks, well, Vexana kind of does both. So this is one of those heroes that really fits this particular need here. They need damage, they need some utility as well, and of course Coach Ev finds something that slots right in there.
But of course, after game #1, we're still looking at MSC. That's, on the horizon. So let's get to the MSC battle plan here with our first poster, the Sky King era generation. Will the third generation be able to continue that legacy? ONIC Gen 1, obviously everyone knows the ONIC Kage era, right? Trophy in 2019, ONIC Gen 2, the golden era from ONIC with, obviously Boots still in the lineup, but now we're missing CW, we're missing Boots. We have Savero and Lutfi. What do you guys think about this question?
Oh man, what do you think, Golius? Because I recall we were all talking about me and Shevin, I believe, we were talking that we prefer the golden era, and Golius comes out with like the Kage era, bro. What do you think about this comparison?
I think if we are talking about the Kage era, no one can beat them on their prime time.
Right.
Yeah, and the golden era of ONIC, it's almost the same, but it's not a smooth road for them on the regular season, on the MSC. But right now, it's with Lutfi, with Savero, young blood who can make a new vibes on the team. So they have a new goals to be set. That's why on this MSC, it's time for them to prove to the world that even they have a new generation, even they have 3 generations, they're still on the top performance.
Look, regardless of whether or not we want, them to have a really good performance, regardless of them bringing the new vibe, the big question is it enough, right? Because the representatives from all the other regions, they're looking really strong and really tough as well. Take MPLPH, for example. TLPH are comprised of a lineup of veterans. Huge experience, championship mentality. Can new bloods like Lutfi and Savero be able to create change?
For me, it's never enough, Aitana.
Ooh,
Most definitely, they have a chance, right? With SRG last year winning it, I think that opens a lot of opportunities for other teams, the young bloods, the new faces, to perhaps win MSC. Same story here. Sure, Savero, Lutfi, new at MSC, but I feel like they still are top tier, I feel.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't matter if you are a veteran or even you are the young blood. Because adaptability is the key to winning the MSC.
okay.
Although we know adaptability comes with sometimes having experience allows you to have a better adaptability as well. Which is why I believe shout out to Midnight who peeked over here earlier. He was saying that hey, ONIC is great right now, but there are some moments where you can pinpoint Savero sometimes having a lapse of judgment. Which is, he's only human, right? But compared to the veteran trio, right? Savero really isn't as clean just yet. So that stands to be one of the things that ONIC have to kind of iron out. Have to kind of let Savero catch up to the rest of the team in order for them to have a full-on balanced 5-man gameplay. Because in the highest level, dude, one person having the wrong idea, not on the same page, that could be catastrophic.
Yeah, it breaks games, it breaks momentum, and those things are definitely huge when it comes down to the international landscape. Because Savero, he's looking at veterans, right? Oheb, Kalra.
Ooh.
Like, these are not unfamiliar names. These are legends coming into MSC. That's pressure.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. So, you know what? I think just take it step by step.
Step by step.
SC is definitely ahead of them. But, Savero can mold his experience from now. Game 1, solid. I feel like he was, just displayed a excellent Harith. I think he was deathless that game, untouched. So, again, slowly but surely, step by step.
He was deathless. So, of course, before we get into game number 2, we are going to throw it over to the stage. I believe with Bude Clara Monster. So, take it away.
Di tengah-tengah Jakarta International Velodrome, ketegangan dari kedua super fans bisa terasa. Namun, kalau ngelihat dari match hari ini kayaknya yang paling was-was, yang paling dark-dikdukser juga adalah 2 orang dalam dari kedua tim. Ada Mars dan juga VL.
Halo semua. Halo.
Waduh, sekarang aktif sekali ya untuk menyuarakan. Kalau dari VL, yang aktif banget sebenarnya mau narik-narik kamu banyak loh di sini.
Apa itu?
Itu di situ banyak yang bilang no VL.
Nah, hari ini kita patahkan lah. Semoga ya. Dia nggak boleh interview ya katanya ya.
Nggak boleh.
Iya. Bagus ini sebenarnya Kingdom udah pada panik ini Bude di sebelah sini nggak ngerti Bude.
Makanya.
Iya.
Ini udah pada yang pengen narik VL aja. Tapi kata Mars happy ya kalau VL diwawancara ya.
Ini sebenarnya gue yang narik. Oh gitu ya?
Iya.
Benar.
Ini strategi dari Mars.
Strategi nih.
Dia
Oke.
sampai sekarang masih mau adu strategi aja Bude, nggak tahu kenapa ini Mars.
Itu sudah 5 season lalu.
Dari season 8
8.
sampai 10 ya kita ya?
10.
3 season kalian mengadu satu sama lain. Dan sekarang kalian nonton untuk mendukung tim yang masih yang sama nih. Kalau ngelihat di season 15, gimana? Pas lagi ngedukung kalau buat Viel kayaknya senyum terus ya.
Nggak juga sih, sebenarnya mau apapun yang terjadi itu ternyata lebih deg-degan nonton daripada ada di backstage ya.
Oh ini hal yang
Nonton tuh
menarik.
lebih kalau Mars nggak tahu ya, soalnya kan dia sekarang udah head. Jadi kayak
Nggak gitu. Tetap bener. Itu setuju banget. Setiap udah nonton itu pasti jauh. Lebih deg-degannya jauh banget.
iya.
Jauh lebih deg-degan. Tapi kalau untuk masalah deg-degan, ini jantung Mars yang harus diperiksa karena
Kenapa?
ONIC kan naik turun banget nih. Kalau liatin dari performa ONIC di babak playoff ini, sebagai orang dalam, kasih tahu kita, sebenarnya apa yang terjadi di ONIC sampai babak playoff ini mode ONIC tuh beda banget Mars.
Ya dari yang kita awal yang pas #9 itu ya banyak lah yang kita evaluasi gitu loh. Bukan cuma dari sisi in-game, bahkan dari sisi out-game, dan bahkan juga dari sisi manajemen juga kita evaluasi apa yang kita butuhin buat support mereka. Dan sampai titik inilah gitu loh. Jadi semuanya pada try hard sih.
Tapi ada vibes yang berbeda gak sih dari anak-anak juga yang Mars mungkin bisa ngelihat, bisa langsung di-mention gitu. Sebelumnya terlihat lesu, sekarang semangat atau ada hal yang benar-benar bisa di-share?
Itu sebenarnya salah satu pertama yang kita benerin sih dari vibes-nya itulah. Karena ya namanya kalah kan pasti nggak ada yang suka ya. Pasti kesel lah. Nah tapi itu yang harus dihilangkan buat kita bisa perform sih.
Oke, ini berbeda kisahnya dengan RRQ yang kayaknya sepanjang season 15 mereka kelihatan super duper nyaman, pede, happy. Bener nggak, Viel?
Kelihatannya ya.
Oh,
Iya, tapi ya beruntungnya waktu kemarin sempat keliling kota ya ada happy-happynya. Cuma kan di akhir-akhir sedikit dibikin deg-degan ya. Karena di akhir-akhir banyak banget yang bilang kalau bensin kita habis gini-gini. Ya sebenarnya kan kalau bensin kita habis tinggal melipir ke pom bensin beli selesai permasalahan.
udah beli nih.
Udah beli.
Udah beli.
Udah beli good day makanya melek lagi.
Mantap.
Yes.
Butuh nih melek untuk game kedua. Game pertama ada apa? Kalau dari kacamata Viel, yang mana ketinggalan 1 poin di Best of 7 ini?
Kalau di game pertama lebih ke karena aku masuknya telat aja sih Bude. Jadi kayak anak-anak tuh kok nggak ada Viel ya di situ nggak semangat gitu. Coba kita lihat nanti game yang kedua ya coba ya.
Oke, berarti gara-gara Viel ya.
Ayo mau ngomong apa lu? Lu mau ngomong apa?
Tapi kan udah ketarik ke sini nih.
Oh iya, nggak gitu jangan dong. Jangan.
Tapi
Calon
lebih
di
ke-
game 2.
Nah, ONIC gimana nih untuk menahan momentum, membuat momentum terus di ONIC? Gimana